Welcome to the UnStopABLE Stories Show with Terrence Leftridge, where we talk to ordinary people with unstoppable stories. Now, here's your host, life accountability coach, Terrence Leftridge. Hey, it is an unstoppable day. How you guys doing? It's a abbreviated episode of the Unstoppable Story Show with Terrence Leftridge. I'm your host, Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Leftridge, and we are continuing our series this month, the 24 Days of Gratitude. 24 days of gratitude. Yes, for 24 straight days leading up to Thanksgiving, we are going to be focusing for a second, a minute, a couple of minutes, an hour on gratitude and being thankful. Because here's the one thing I know, that if we can get each and every person under the sound of my voice to be thinking about more of what they have as opposed to what they have not, then we can create a society, a global community of people who are more thankful than the people who are dealing in negativity. You know, it's one thing I know. Thankfulness and gratefulness, it defeats negativity, because if you can fill your mind with things that you're thankful for and things that you're grateful for, your mind doesn't have space for negativity. It doesn't have space for negative things. It doesn't have space for negative people. And it definitely doesn't have space for negative places. So what we are doing is we're not selling you anything during this time. We are just coming to you with words of encouragement to give you the opportunity to think about being thankful and grateful in your own life. So as always, I want you to come on in, swipe and share, swipe and share. We would love to hear your thoughts and see what you are grateful for on these 24 days of gratitude. And so we're just going to throw out that question as we do all the time. And the question simply is, what are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? Share that in the comments as we go ahead and make sure that this thing is going out live. We're going to swipe and share ourselves. And we're going to do the same thing for for you guys to make sure that you are getting this information as it is coming out. Let's see. Got to check it myself. Yep, there I am. There I am live and in Technicolor on the screen. So let's share this out to a couple of people, and then we will go on in and start talking with our great guest that we have tonight. Because, you know, I talked to you guys about, I could share what I'm grateful for each and every day. But it's even better if we can have more people who are willing to talk about what they are grateful for. So I put a challenge out there to have my friends and to have my Facebook family come on and tell us what they're grateful for as well. And you know what? This last week is going to be filled each and every day with incredible offline friends as well as online friends who are coming to talk to you about what they are grateful for. And we're going to start it off tonight with one of my great BBS sisters from another mother, who has been doing it real big and doing it fabulous on the East Coast for quite some time right now. She is the founder and the creator of the BFabulous movement. She is a mother. She is a speaker. She is an encourager, and she is going to help you get a vision that will take you from 2019 right on strong into 2020. So without further ado, I want to welcome to the stage on the 24 Days of Gratitude on the Unstoppable Story Show, my girl, my buddy, Miss Angie BFabulous Hodges. Angie, are you here? Let me unmute you.
Doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Hopefully you can hear me.
We can hear you. How are you, sweetie?
I am fabulous, Mr. Unstoppable. And how are you?
Well, you know, you just said it. I am unstoppable. It's in the tagline. As we welcome people to come on in, swiping and sharing, we've got the fabulous Arlene Collins Wilson. She is in the house saying hello to you,
Hey,
Angie.
Arlene, how are
Yes,
you?
yes, yes. And Arlene is going to be our special guest tomorrow night on the 24 Days of Gratitude. So, looking forward to having her share what she is grateful for live and on screen. But let's jump right on into it because this is your segment right now. I appreciate you. I put out the call to people to come on to the show and share what they're thankful for. So before you do that, Angie, why don't you just take a moment? Because I believe that my guests can talk about themselves better than any bio that I could put out to the audience. Why don't you take a moment and share with the audience exactly who Angie BFabulous Hodges is?
Well, certainly. Well, thank you for having me on here. This is wonderful. I've been on your show quite a few times. It is always a wonderful experience. And I just thank you for, having people to, put this at the forefront, especially at this time of the year, gratitude. Um, But what I can tell you about myself, like you said, I'm a mom, I am a speaker, an author, and a workshop facilitator. I put together workshops because a lot of times we go and we hear people speak, but I like to have people leave with tools and things that they can use in their everyday life.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And
So, Angie, you and I, we met through the Black Belt Speakers, and you are doing it real big down there in North Carolina. You left me here in Illinois. I'm still a little traumatized by that, but I'm gonna be all right because we gonna do this thing. I'm be strong. And I know I know you are being fabulous with your message and what you're doing down there in North Carolina and all across the country with the big things that you have coming up at the end of this year as well as 2020. We'll talk about that a little bit towards the end of the show. But
okay,
I just want to
great.
pose to you, I always ask you, no matter who the guest is, the first question is always when you hear the word unstoppable, what does it mean to you?
When I hear the word unstoppable, I mean, that is their resilience. That means to me, that's a person that, even though challenges and circumstances may come your way, you might pause, you may fall down, but you're going to get back up. You are not going to allow anything to stop what it is that you know that you are called to do. I guess when I think of it unstoppable, I think about resilience. I think about that can do spirit that can't stop, won't stop. And I also think of you now, Mr. Unstoppable.
Well, I love it. That's a nice plug. I'm gonna put the check in the mail for you. That was good. You know what? And that resilience, that is a great word. And those who follow me and who follow the Unstoppable Story Show, I put out a post yesterday, and it was a quote that I heard from our fellow coach, Ambassador Ruben, Dr. Ruben M. West, founder of the Black Belt Speakers, and he said to me that success doesn't come from your resources, it comes from your resourcefulness. And I was like,
Yes.
I was just blown away from that. And that goes along with resilience. It's your ability to use what you have to get to where you want to be, not focusing on the things that you don't have or the money you don't have or those things that you don't have yet, but utilizing what God has already given you to be fabulous and to continue to be unstoppable. So I like that word resilience. So
Yeah.
now let's jump into our abbreviated version. The reason why we're here is day 18 of the 24 days of gratitude. And I'm so glad that you decided to come on. But now let me just ask you, what are you grateful for?
When we talked about this earlier today, Terrence, I told you I'm just grateful for life. And I know that sounds so cliche, grateful for life. I mean, okay, but you know what? Every day that we leave out of our homes and we make it back, although we take it for granted, that is something to be grateful for. When I think about the fact that I have four children, only one living permanently at home right now, the three boys are grown. And the fact when I know that wherever they are, that they make it back home safely, that they're okay, that for me, I am grateful for. And I don't ever want to get to a space that I take that for granted. I want to always be in a place of gratitude and thankfulness that I am blessed to live another day, because unfortunately we know we all have an expiration date, but I'm just thankful each day, thankful for the experiences, thankful whether they're good or bad, thankful that I get to continue to do this thing called life.
I love it. I love it. Arlene Wilson, she's also saying can't stop, won't stop, get it, get it. So yeah, she is working in the comment room. And if you've got a comment, if you've got something and you're watching us, as always, if you're watching us live, I want you to put in the number 1. And if you are watching us on the replay, go ahead and put in the number 2, and we will shout you out. So again, if you're watching this abbreviated version of the Unstoppable Story Show, just go ahead and put that 1 in the comments section. And if you are watching the replay, go ahead and put the number 2 as we continue to chop it up with our special guest for the evening, Angie BFabulous Hodges. You know what? Isn't it a beautiful thing? Isn't it a fabulous thing to just be alive? And do you know people, or have you run across people in your life that have taken being alive for granted, Angie?
Yes, and that's why I have to continue to remind myself. Actually, right now I'm about to share this into my page.
Okay.
I'm about to do this share.
Got to get this, make this go global. We
You,
want,
you,
there's so many negative things that are out there that go global and go viral. We want to make thankfulness and gratefulness go viral on this Thursday night. So if you guys are watching, go ahead and share it out on your end again,
yes, get it out
as you
there.
did. But how does that feel when you run across people that seem to take living just for granted?
You know what? It is so evident in our world right now. Every time we look on, I mean, when we look at the news or we see the things that are out there, that people just don't appreciate the sanctity of life. Because if we really appreciated the sanctity of life, we would treat each other better. We would be kind. We would find things and find ways to uplift people instead of bringing people down. So I just try to, we all get into those spaces where, but I just always try to have those little reminders to myself to keep it moving, to keep putting that positive out, because like I said, each day is a gift, and when we appreciate the gift, I know I have a great lady friend that's always telling me, just keep praising them, just keep praising them. And then sometimes when things aren't going the way we want them to be, it's easy to get in that space where, what, this isn't right, that isn't right. But what I've learned is when things aren't going right, that's your time to dig deep and start praising them even more. Find
Absolutely.
things to be happy about, find things
Absolutely.
to be thankful about. And as we talk a little bit further, I mean, I'm going to give people some real life tools that you can actually use to go ahead and to work that thing out.
I love it. Sonia Jenkins, she's joining us. She said, yes, be unstoppable and be fabulous. Yeah, she got it. She got
Hey,
it.
Sonia.
Hey, thank you guys for joining us. And as you come in, make sure put that 1 if you're watching us live, or put that 2 if you're watching the replay. And I challenge you, as you watch this and as you hear us talk about what we're thankful and grateful for, take a moment to put in the comments what you're grateful for. And I would love to share
Yes,
them and
please
read
do.
them during this time. So you know what? I've been doing this now for a number of years, and what I love about it is when you do it over and over again, you start to find more things that you're grateful for. And when you think about being thankful and you think about being grateful, it doesn't have to be this big thing. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be this monumental thing you're thankful for. You can start off simply by saying, you know what, I'm thankful that I'm able to say I'm thankful. That means you're able to speak.
That's
I'm
right.
thankful that I'm able to see myself. Say it. That means you can see.
Yes.
I'm grateful that I heard myself say it. That means you can hear. And so then you have come up with 3 things to be grateful for, and you still are on the top of your head. Now, just
Mm-hmm.
imagine if you just went down your whole body talking about the things that you're grateful for, because guaranteed, what you're grateful for that you can do with your body, there is
Someone that can.
somebody somewhere, like you said, that can't do it. There's somebody who can't write anymore because they can't use their fingers. They're suffering through severe arthritis, or maybe they're a veteran and they just came back from the war and their fingers got shot off in the war, so they can't do that anymore. You can do that. That's a blessing. That's
Yeah.
something to be grateful for. I remember telling this story over and over again, Angie, about this woman that was in one of my coaching sessions, group coaching sessions, and we put everybody in a group and we asked them to just go around during the Thanksgiving holiday and talk about 5 things that they were thankful for. And she was so locked into her pity party because of the things that
Mhm.
she didn't have at that time, or the things that weren't going her way, Angie, that she couldn't think of one thing.
Oh wow.
And it was at that moment that I said to her, well, did you hear my question? She was like, yeah. Then you can hear. Did you see
Yes.
my expression when I asked her the question? She was like, yeah. Then you can see. And then the other ladies chimed in. And then, well, were you able to get here? Yeah. Do you have a roof over your head? Yeah. Is your son able to eat even though you don't have the money that you want to have? Yeah. So sometimes we need other people
To
to
remind
show us, to remind us, yes,
us.
of the things that we already should be thankful for and grateful for, to pull us out of our pity party into the gratitude party. You know, I don't want to hang out at the pity party house. I want to hang
Uh,
out at the thankful house. I want to hang out at the grateful house, because at the grateful thankful house, they be lit and they be turned up. And that's
exactly.
where I want to be. So you know what? You have created some traditions in your house that I think are really cool, and I would just love for you to share. There's 3 things you told me about. You told me about the journal, you told me about the jar, and you told me about the tablecloth. So let's go through each one of those one by one. Tell us about the gratitude journal.
Well, yeah, that's what I wanted to, and like I just said before, that's what I'm about. I'm about tools that people can use. And over the my relationship, me and gratitude have a relationship. There was a time period in my life where I was at a just like at a serious low. It felt like nothing was going right. It felt like if I took one step forward, I was taking 3 steps back. And I went to Dollar General. I'm gonna have to add this one in there too. And I just got a poster board, a big old poster board for $1, and I started writing in the most littlest because you don't I wasn't trying
Margins.
to fill it up. I was just making very little sentences about everything I was thankful for. I mean, like, I'm thankful that I can taste water. I'm thankful for that my water was cold. I'm thankful that I woke up. I'm thankful, like you said, that I could hear. I'm thankful that I could speak. I filled this board up. And like you were just saying about that lady, sometimes people get to a space where it feels like nothing is going right. The way you can see yourself up out of that situation, start praising, start finding any and everything to be thankful for. And I still have that poster board now. Then there's something else, and that is the glass jar. This is something great that you could do with yourself and also with your kids, your family. I had a jar, and then I cut up these little slits of paper, and we used them over a year. So we anything that we were thankful for, anything that we were grateful for, we would put it in that jar. And that's the way to get your kids, your family involved, because that's important, that some of these things that we know for ourselves, but for us to emulate and get our kids involved, for them to learn to show gratitude. You know how sometimes people say,
Yes.
oh, the kids can sometimes be ungrateful. Get
Mm-hmm.
into that space of learning to be thankful. And this is a fun way. Just all these little slips of paper, we filled the jar. And then at the end of the year or periodically, we could go through the jar and just go back. And it is so fun to go back and read the different things that people said.
I love that. And especially with the kids, because our
Mhm.
unfortunately our society, the millennials and whatever comes now after the millennials, I don't know, generation Y, Z, double A, whatever it is. We live in a society of instant gratification.
Mhm.
And we also live in a society where our kids have un they come from a place of expectation. Just
Yeah.
because you were born, then you should have. And that's not the reality of life, but that's how they've been brought up to think. And because of that, because you think you're supposed to have everything, then you really don't learn what it means to be grateful and thankful, because you think it's something that you're supposed to have anyway. So why should I be thankful for it? Because I'm supposed to have it. So really bringing them back down and bringing them back down and understanding that, you know what, be grateful because you were given it, not be arrogant because you have it. And sometimes you got to bring it back down and you got to do these type of exercises that you talked about. So physically having someone sit down and write down what they're thankful for, especially a child, now it starts to get them to think about the other things. Well, I'm
Exactly.
thankful for my bike.
Yeah.
How did I get my bike? Well, my mom or my dad, or mom and dad, they go to work each and every day so that they can pay for this bike. And okay, now I see this bike has value because of what my parents had to do to get me this bike. And now maybe I'll take better care of this bike because now I have an appreciation and I have an attitude of gratitude of what this bike represents. So I think that's a great ideal, and I highly recommend you guys to, if you're not doing that with your children, maybe this is the year, this Thanksgiving, maybe you start your own Thanksgiving jar in your own home and see what happens. See how it works throughout the rest of this year. What
And
was the third
plant
thing?
seeds.
Go ahead.
Yeah, plant seeds. One
Absolutely.
of the other ones is you can also have, and there's been different times. I'm a big journaler. I've also some at times had a journal that was specifically geared for gratitude. So you could do it every night before you go to bed, write 3 things that you're thankful for. Or you could even incorporate it into your current journal. Maybe sometimes instead of writing about what's going on in your life, just take a few pages or a page or a sentence and write something that you're thankful for. And
Oh,
then
wait,
lastly,
wait. And before you go to that last one, because we got some comments in the room. So I want to save that last one for just a second. Sonia Jenkins, she said that she is thankful for successful surgery today. Yes,
and
praise
I
him,
am
praise
thankful.
him.
Yes, she did have
Yes.
surgery today.
Absolutely. That is something to definitely to be thankful for. And
Yes.
and then Arlene, she's talking, you talked about the journal. So Arlene says periodically my husband and I write letters to
Oh,
each
that is
other
awesome.
saying write letters to each other about what we are grateful for in each other. It's awesome. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. I love that. I love that. So yeah,
That is
doing
amazing.
doing the little things that makes you that makes those things special and makes the relationship special. And you don't just have to do it during the month of November, during the
That's
month of
right.
Thanksgiving. This is something, these are things that you can do each and every day of the year. Okay, okay. So now let's talk about that last thing, because this last thing, you guys, I love this last ideal that Angie is going to be fabulous is going to share with you. And if you're not doing it, I highly recommend that this might be the year that you start doing it. So Angie, what's the last ideal you have for people to really practice an attitude of gratitude?
This one is just amazing. Um, Literally 19 years ago, I started this out. You know, I was married at the time. We were just starting to host Thanksgiving in our family, and as a newly married couple, and I wanted to start some type of tradition. And so, even though I had my nice, elegant, beautiful tablecloth, what I did was went to the dollar store and I got a dollar plastic tablecloth, and that I would put over my nice, pretty, elegant tablecloth. And then whoever was at our home that day, kids included, everyone writes on that tablecloth what they are thankful for. And I was just showing this to Terrence before the show, and it really strikes a chord because over these years, the first entry on that tablecloth, that was from the year 2000. And unfortunately, I can say that one we did from 2000 to about 2014, that there are about 4 people that are no longer with us. They have transitioned that were on that tablecloth.
Go
And
ahead and
then
show one of them while you're talking.
Okay. Oh, and then I started a new one because that one it got old. So I'll show you a couple. Now this one that is 20, literally is 19 years old. It has
Mm.
remnants of food and every. I don't know. Can you see this? But
Yes,
basically, it's
yes.
people write. People write on it. Not only they write what they're thankful for, but it's important that they also put their name and they date it. Because on this one, let me see if I can find that one. Like this one is from my son Justin. I'm thankful for food, drink, family, and friends. That was 11/27/03.
Wow. And
And
can you
then
find does he can you
one
find
I
another
want to
one from
find
Jeff?
from a man. He was a neighbor of ours back in the day, and he had just recently separated from his wife. He wasn't with his kids. He didn't have anyone. He never attended a Thanksgiving with us again. And that's the thing. It doesn't, that's the beauty because you can see who was there at that time. But he wrote
Absolutely.
that he was just thankful for friendship because we invited him into our home because he didn't have any place to go. But this becomes like uh, a who's who. You can go back and see who was with you at that time. And now we fill that one up so much, and I started a new one. This one is an orange one now. I'm gonna read my friend Shonda. 11/24/16. I'm so grateful for being alive and for family and friends. Um, my son CJ. This one is 11/22/17. I'm thankful for my family, friends, being healthy, alive, and for being able to impact others around me.
Wow. And see
Uh,
that shows the growth not only of your family over the years, but the way people think over the years. So I really love that ideal. And you said it was something just simple, going to the dollar store and just
Going
getting a
to the
plastic
dollar
sheet.
store. I want to show this one with a family friend of ours. I'm thankful for my family and friends. Love and like. I am 8 years old. Me, Madison. So it's cute because
Oh,
you
and
start this as a
hold
tradition
it
with
up
your
to the
family
camera
over the
because
years. That she's 8 now. This young lady now she's about 10. So it's fun to be able to go back and look, and then sometimes it brings memories of people that were once there who are no longer here. But it's an easy tradition, and like I said, that one over there, the white one with the turkeys on it, that one is 19 years old. So next year it'll be 20 years old. It's like they're keepsakes. They become keepsakes for your family.
I love it. Put the orange one up to the camera again because she also did a heart
Yeah.
in what she wrote. So put that up to the camera so people can see it again.
And so lastly, what I would just like to leave people with is um something that it was a quote that I found by a country singer, Willie Nelson, and it's when I started counting my blessings, my whole life turned around. So it just pays to have a spirit of gratitude and thankfulness.
Love it. I love it. I love it. So Angie, on that orange one,
Mm-hmm.
can you put that back up to the camera? Because the 8-year-old, she even put a heart next to it, right?
She sure did.
So
She
she
put
was
a
an artist. So that is really cool. And that is something that's very inexpensive to do, but it has lasting memories. And I love that ideal. And I love that you have kept those for almost 20 years. It's
almost
20
20
years
years.
of memories of and it's memories of people that are still here and people that are no longer with you, but you still have the memories, and that's something that's still something to be thankful for as well. Man, that's some great stuff there. It'd be fabulous.
Thank you. Well, you know what? Hopefully, the viewers, there's something. There's everything's not for everybody, but hopefully, you'll be able to find something that works for you that will increase your gratitude. Because I can say I feel a testament for my life. The more thankful I got, the more blessings I received. And it's not that we're thankful to get blessings, but when you start just appreciating and being thankful for everything in your life, you find more things to be thankful for.
I know, I know. I said last night, or earlier this week, with on the regular Unstoppable Story Show, that it just reminds me of the song that when you look back over your life and all the things that you've gotten, you can truly say that you've been blessed, and therefore you have a testimony, and you've got 20 years of testimonies right there on that tablecloth, and that is a beautiful thing. All your ideals were great. The gratitude journal, the gratitude jar, and the gratitude tablecloth. So thank you, Be Fabulous, for coming
Thank
on
you.
and sharing what you're grateful for on the 24 days of gratitude. Now, if somebody wants to get more ideals from you, or if they just want to learn more about what Angie Be Fabulous Hodges is doing, how can they get in contact with you?
please definitely reach out to me on Facebook, Angie Hodges, or you can find me at BFabulous 001. That's my Facebook page, or on Instagram, BFabulous 01. And that's just B and Fabulous. And then also, I'm having an event coming up in Charlotte. So if you're in the Charlotte area, or if you want to travel, South Carolina, wherever, come on, you're more than welcome. I have an event going on that's on December 14th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. It ain't over yet. Get ready. That's helping people get things planned for the upcoming new year. And then in the new year, January 4th, I'm going to have a vision board workshop, and that's called Hot Girl 2020. Create the vision for your life. That'll be coming up January 4th. And then on January 18th, I'll be speaking at an event with Dr. Christine Kozacek, and that will be in Charlotte January 18th. So reach out, come to an event. Love to have you. The one on December 14th, that's free. Bring your friends. Come out, fellowship. This will be a great time to get some strategies and ready for the upcoming new year.
Well, that is great. So you guys check out Angie BFabulous Hodges on Facebook, and you can get all the information about her upcoming events. But for right now, I just want to say I'm grateful that you stepped up and you decided to come on. You know we've been talking about behind the scenes about you doing what you're doing right now, girl. That you know that's someone who's ready to be unstoppable in 2020. So I thank you. I'm proud of you, and bless you and your family, not only this holiday season, but as you move forth in a Be Fabulous way in 2020. Okay.
And thank you so much, Mr. Unstoppable. I appreciate you. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you for just being consistent and continuing to put great content to help people to create and to live their best life.
Well, that's what this is all about. It's about talking to ordinary people with unstoppable stories so that people out there like you and I who may be wondering if we can do it, if they can see that you can do it, then that helps us to know that I can do it too. So thank you for what you do. And thank you for coming on the show. And you guys who are watching, whether you're watching live or watching in the replay, thank you for this abbreviated episode of the Unstoppable Stories Show, the 24 days of gratitude. Yeah, we're doing it all the way up to Thanksgiving, y'all. And
Yes.
we are going to have special guests just like Be Fabulous each and every night coming up for the next week. People have answered the call. So you're not only going to be hearing from me, but you're going to be hearing from other ordinary people that are grateful and are thankful. So continue to tune back in each and every day. I'll be posting about an hour ahead of time when the show is going to actually come on. Most times it'll be at this time, but sometimes maybe on the weekend it'll be a little earlier in the day so you can start your weekend off with an attitude of gratitude and that you can be thankful too. But until then, for Angie BFabulous Hodges, I'm Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Lethbridge. And wherever you are in the world today, you know what we say, Angie. Don't just make it a great day, make it an unstoppable day. Take care, you guys.